There it goes. Hello, everybody. This is going to be a up the nose video here. I have to put the laptop kind of close to for the sound to carry, so you're going to get a look up my nose. Um, Wanted to write. Um, I had two encounters today that were definitely up on the topic of the channel. One trans at middle age. Um, I had two echoes of my past self. And one of them was back when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Uh, I was on my way in my 20s, I was on my way to go to the Air Force Academy. Actually, when I was 18, I was on my way to go to the Air Force Academy. I guess I really need to rewind the clock even back further. I was in high school, and I was going to go to the Air Force Academy, and I had participated in the physicals, training, exercise. There were certain requirements, certain physical requirements, and I was overweight as a young man. I was overweight, a big boned. But I was so frustrated because my spirit, my mind, was so focused on going to the Air Force Academy. I wanted to be an Air Force officer. I wanted to be an aerospace engineer. Or at least I thought I did. And I was so frustrated because my body would just not cooperate. My body, to do pull-ups and to run, my stamina, which all of these things I think you probably could build up over time. But, again, just so against my natural state at the time. And today I've felt some frustration with trying to learn some things at my new job that I'm just not getting. And to the point that you get angry. You get angry at your brain. You get angry at yourself, and frustration. And where this ties into the channel is, in some regards, I feel like my youth was spent as a walking corpse. As a young man, as a boy. I was not a boy up here. And there were a lot of things that I'm sure you can identify with, not being able to do because, I was in this body, and that frustration of the body, the brain, girl, girl, I want to do these things that girls do, and I can't. And so a chunk of my life, a period of my time, I just, I lost. Crumple it up and throw it away. My youth. And then kind of the next part of my life, which I was going to say middle age, but that wasn't it. I'm going to call it my prime, which is up for debate. Everyone probably has their own opinion what that is. In your 20s or your 30s, I invested my 20s and my 30s and part of my 40s, good 20 years of my life into being kind of an adult male. And, a lot of that was, in later years, was being a father. But before my daughter was born, I was married for 12 years, without a child. And, over the course of that 12 years, I got to know my then wife's family, their children. They were a big family. I didn't come from a big family, but I invested my time, my effort, my energy, my love um, into supporting that family. And when I transitioned, I lost that. Um, I was not welcome. I was an outcast. And, um, it was like a chunk of my time, chunk away. Today I came across in the grocery store um, my ex-wife's niece. Uh, when I was an uncle to her, when I was her uncle, I was involved in her life. And this isn't a slam against her. It's not her. It's up here. It's me. But, um, I invested a good chunk of my time and my love and my effort and my energy and the whole family. But in her family, with her children, and before she had children, she was a young teenager, watching her grow up, being there to support her. She dropped out of high school and went back, and there was a lot of encouragement to get her back her life in order. And she had kids, and I can remember one summer while she was pregnant, we went over there and we got her house ready. I mean, it was months of work to get her house, the plumbing working, the everything working, and then her yard. Golly, her yard was overrun. We cleared it out. Um, we got it ready. We put a swing set together for her children. We got an area ready for her pool. We made ready for the kids. And you know, uh, I feel like that period of my life again, crinkle it up and throw it away. I still have the good vibes and whatnot in here, but it's a chunk of my life now. I can't, I don't hang out with them. It was the first time I've seen her probably in 3 years. Well, obviously, since I transitioned. Um, but my family, my sister has excommunicated me and my dad when I transitioned, and his sisters particularly, very adamantly, "You're not welcome. We don't want you. You're a disgrace." You know, which when you're 40, 45 years old, you should be able to take that from somebody, but when it's your own family, it digs at you. So I'm frustrated that my prime, you know, I spent my youth barking up trees, trying different things that didn't work out, which, boo-hoo, not a pity party, but, a lot of people probably have that problem. But I can remember back in college and in grad school too, when I went to grad school, I didn't quite fit in with everybody else because I was transgender and I couldn't come to terms with it. I couldn't, you know what I mean? It was confusion. And so I guess I'm lamenting and I'm saddened by that loss of time. Crumple it up, throw it away. Um, in the same way that the next phase of my life, my prime, my 20s and 30s, also throw it away. Throw it away. And obviously, I have good memories. I can remember before I transitioned, you know, people appreciated me. They said, "Thank you, we appreciate you." Blah 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 blah. I was a very good uncle, very good uncle, and again, like I said, that second, first two phases of my life gone. And I won't exactly say wasted, but right now it feels like I've kind of, I don't have those experiences like, someone who, well, a cis woman, I guess, has memories of growing up as a girl and, their first kiss and going to prom and all that. Never experienced that. Boo hoo, right? Boo hoo. And in middle age, I definitely count my blessings. I have a number of trans friends who have lost their children, and I count my blessings that my daughter's accepting of me, and we're part of each other's life, and she's 14 years old, and I still have a good 4 years with her as she grows up. So I'm thankful. I count my blessings. Let me put it to you that way. But there was a part of me today that, like I said, I was knocked back a little bit by some frustration of thinking back to my Air Force time and the loss of my youth. In the same way that when I ran into my niece, I hate to call her my ex-niece because she's really not, but it feels that way, the loss of that time. I lament it, and obviously I have memories, but you know what, I think maybe what I'm thinking about, and I probably haven't done a good job of explaining it because I haven't talked about it yet, but there's a couple people that I know who, and I've made mention, I think I did in my last video, on their Facebook page, everything seems so wonderful, and again, we probably on Facebook we only see the vacation photos of people's lives. We only see the edited good bits. But I feel like transgender folk, we have a degree of frustration in our lives that cis people may not really experience, and not to say that there's not bad episodes in life. And like I said, I have one of my best friends from high school. He was going into the Air Force and decided not to. And he spent a good chunk, a bit of his time going down a path that he later changed his mind and didn't want to do. And we were talking not that long ago, and he said, yeah, I feel like I wasted my time, So I don't think it's exclusive. What I'm driving at is, or what I'm sharing with you is not solely limited to trans people, generally people in general. But I think that depending on how long we waited to transition, and I don't even know if that's a good, so waiting implies that you have a choice, and sometimes we join. Maybe I should just say it, at what point we transition. Hi! I lost my train of thought. There's just a degree of frustration that cis people just don't have. Thankfully. And maybe they have other things. Like I said, we're human. Each of us have a different story to tell. But there is an element, there is a burden, there is a factor in our lives that cis people just don't have. Yeah, their life, their youth may have sucked, but they didn't waste it, trying to be someone that they weren't. And their early life, leading up to the dealing with being trans and coming out and dealing with it, they didn't have that waste of their time. And I guess it comes back to we should just be thankful for the time that we have, and thankful that we made the decision to transition and live our lives as best we can. But for the moment, it just sucks. So anyway, I better end the video. But best of luck to you in becoming your authentic self. And we'll pull through. We will pull through. We don't know what tomorrow holds. Nobody knows what the weather's going to be. We don't know what opportunities are going to come our way. And I definitely believe, live the life as best we can with what we got. All right, till next time. Bye-bye.